Good morning, guys, and welcome to the show. Fernando.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Today we have a multi-part series that is going to start with the new direct replacement JVC KW Z1000AW. That's right, this is part of that new direct replacement that they're partnered up with iData Maestro about. And over the next couple videos, you're going to learn everything there is to know about it. Let's get started. With radios not getting any easier to replace, dashes looking all kinds of weirdness, what are you to do? Because, well, we know they're not going to last forever, or they sound terrible. All of the things that you're thinking. Well, iData came out with a solution for that, and they partnered up with JVC and a couple other manufacturers to come out with the direct replacement strategy. There's two versions of it. There's an 8-inch screen that goes into the dash if your car so happens to have a screen that would fit that. But for all of the other ones, they have this, which is the float mount. This is a 10.1-inch float screen that's designed to mount into some really hard to put places where we need to replace the screen, and we're gonna get a nice big screen to do that. And today we're gonna learn all about that. But before we dive into the box, which primarily is what we're gonna concentrate on today, what's in this box and all the little pieces that come with it, let's take a look at what this tells us just by reading the box itself. First thing, it works with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It's Sirius XM ready, as well as Sirius XM 360L. HD radio, high res, Maestro. It has two ways to mount, and I know that's gonna make sense once we dig into it. It is an HDMI Type D input. You can hook up to 4 cameras to it. Use the HD cam, as well as that 10.1-inch screen is an HD screen. Moving over to the side of the box, we get some really cool graphics for the radio, but we also learn that this is Wi-Fi certified, and it does have Bluetooth. And there's a difference between the two and why it has both. It uses JVC's K2 technology. We jump over to the back side of the radio. There's a whole bunch of information, so let's zoom in and take a look. That Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity is wireless, and that wireless is done over the Wi-Fi. So why does it need Bluetooth? Well, because the Bluetooth is what connects the two together. So use your phone's Bluetooth to pair to the Wi-Fi and the radio, and then the two make the handshake, and then it kicks off the Bluetooth because it no longer needs it. And that is how wireless is done for both platforms. It's not done over Bluetooth, it's done over Wi-Fi. That way it can move big packets of information seamlessly between the two. Talks a little bit about the horizontal and vertical of the brain box mounting. Tells us some of the features built into it, as well as some of the codecs that it can read, such as H.264, MPEG-4, WAVE, FLAC, WMA. Some of the internal features, such as digital time alignment, equalization, high pass and low pass filtering with bass boost and loudness, USB 3 amp charger, customizable GUI, steering wheel controls, and the 4 camera inputs. Sliding over, it does have a hands-free microphone, as well as if you need the manual, it's the QR code located here on the box. It talks about that iData Link Maestro partnership and why the two play hand in hand. For example, this first picture here shows air conditioning. In some cases, the air conditioner works through the screen in the car, and when we no longer have it, the air conditioner stops working. iData is designed to shake hands with the car, and you can now control your air conditioning from the new JVC screen in the dash. Plus, you get some fun features like gauge cluster, an OBD2 reader that you can reset check engine lights from, tire pressure sensors. It integrates fully with your backup sensors as well as factory backup camera. So this is designed to retain as many of the factory features as possible to give you the maximum amount of enjoyment. That's about all for the box. Let's open it up and take a look inside. In today's video, we are going to focus on the contents of the box and all the things we need to know about that. There's lots of bags. Let's start opening them up. The first one is the yellow video. All the video, just like any other thing in your life, is yellow. And there are 5 connection ports here. The long one that sticks out is a video out. We have a video in, a front camera / dash camera, third view camera, and then down here, rear view camera and video in. Now what you don't see on this is camera number 4. Like it says on the cover, it has 4 camera inputs. That is because video in is selectable through the menu system in the radio to use this as your 4th camera input. On the end, it has a white connector that will clip into the back of the radio and these 2 ring terminals. These do need to be screwed into the back of the radio. Otherwise, you could possibly get noise and wavy lines in the screen, and nobody wants that. The next RCA harness is this guy right here with all our red-white connectors. Red is right, white is left. There's a short one here on the bottom, and the flag is telling us audio in. This still has an audio in, so if you've got some classic media on some form of device that you'd like to feed into this, obviously RCA's to headphone jack could allow you to use that Walkman directly with this and play those old classic cassettes that are for some reason coming back. Next are our 6 5-volt RCA outputs. The brown is the subwoofer, the black is the rear, and the gray is the front. This is the hands-free mic that they gave us that nice picture of. Now, some of you are like, oh, man, really? We still got to use one of these? And well, the answer is maybe. Maestro does offer this piece here, which is the Maestro Mic 1. This is designed to integrate with your factory microphone and plug into the port on the back of this radio so that you can keep your factory mic and not have the need to use the JVC hands-free microphone. This is not just a harness. This is a brain that does need to be flashed to tell it what car it's going in and what radio it is connecting to. It does come with a external GPS antenna. This is designed to be mounted in the sub dash underneath plastic. It doesn't have to be on the outside of the car on top of the dash. It can see through plastic. This is plastic, just no metal on top of it. The unit does not have onboard navigation. It uses navigation via CarPlay and Android Auto. Your phone might not be somewhere conveniently located like in a cup holder. It might be in your pocket, could be in a bag, and well, that GPS antenna that's in your phone is not seeing the sky. That's what this is for. This will help the GPS antenna that's built into here so that it can track where you're going, move on a map, and do all those other fun things. So this does need to be plugged in. Next, inside of the box, this is your USB-C extension cable. Depending on the installation, your car might still have a standard USB, and you might not want to do the work it takes to modify it. If that is the case, this bag right here has a USB-C to standard USB adapter, which will allow you to plug into here, not the back of the radio, and plug that adapter into here and retain your factory USB if you like. And the last bag is this. This is one of the most important bags though. This has all the screws that you're going to be using for the installation of the unit itself. Put this someplace safe. You don't want to lose it. These are important screws, to say the least. Next up inside of the box is some paper, 2 pieces to be precise. This one says, to our valued customers, need help, need assistance, need to locate a service center, like to make a purchase of accessories? Call this number right here and they'll help you out. And then this guy is the startup guide. This is going to be a real basic explanation of what features do, how the unit goes together, what all those cables are, what they plug into. However, if you want the full owner's manual for everything, that's what this QR code is for. For those of you going, wait a minute, hold on, stop. There's something missing. And you'd be right, there is something missing because this is a direct replacement radio. The one thing that is not in the box, and you have to buy when you buy your iData kits, is the Ken 1. The Ken 1 is your power harness. There is no harness in the box. If you do want to use this as a standalone unit, you can. However, you still need to buy a Ken 1. This will plug into the dash kits that you buy to integrate this into the direct replacement system. Some of those kits are like this guy right here. This is the Ford Float F01. If you guys have one of those F-150s that has that little tiny screen in it and you're like, oh, this sucks, and you've looked at how much that dash kit costs, you don't with this. This piece right here is designed to mount into the dash. Factory screen comes out, attaches the bracketry, and then this mount right here comes out through that little tiny screen hole and allows you to mount the next piece in the box, this guy here, which is our float bracket, directly to that. And then our screen will attach. If you go to maestro.com iData.com or iData link. It'll get you to the website where you can type in your make, model, year, and you can find out if they make a float kit for your car. Some of the kits that are currently available other than the F01 are the JL1. This is designed for Jeeps. If you have a Jeep JL, you know that that factory radio is very thin and very tiny, and you have to put big expensive dash kits and modify things. Not so much. This dash kit allows you to keep that factory dash, whether you have the small 5-inch, the bigger 8-inch, the little bit smaller but yet bigger than the 5-inch, 7-inch, and integrate right in. Then also for Jeep, Dodge, and Ram, we have the CH2. If you have the square radio and it's starting to drip out the liquid crystal, the S8 is a little awkward shaped because yours is more of a 4x3 and that's kind of like a 16x9. So they make these kits to allow you to put that 10.1 inch right in front of the dash. It comes in, there's a whole bracket system. And then the last piece of the puzzle with direct replacement, which gets you that air conditioning control and all of the other cool features, is the Maestro RR module. This happens to be the Maestro RR2. When you go onto their site, it's going to give you a parts list. You know, you need the CH2 and you're either going to need an RR or an RR2. If it says you just need an RR and you would like the RR2, you can. This will give you some extra features that the RR will not give you, such as the Maestro programmable outputs, which allows you to set custom functions through 3 outputs that this brain has. We do have this cool piece of foam, the screen itself, as well as our brain box. Let's take a look at the screen first. The screen comes with this little felt protector on it, which is very nice. I usually keep this around and over it until the very end, like if it's sitting on my workbench, because if you do remove it, it takes you directly to the screen. If it's in the car and was still working, we'll slide this over the top of it. The only thing left to peel off is this tape that goes around the outside, because this is a piano black finish, and you don't have to pull it off until the end, but you do need to pull back some here so that you can see this piece. Those screws that we were talking about, what are those for? There's one that goes here and one that goes on the other side. When it opens up, obviously the screws aren't there. Push forward on this, which will allow you to remove bracket, which exposes this guy right here, which is the new bracket system for this unit. The whole float system is designed around this bracket. The piece that mounts into the dash, it has 5 holes in it. The cables are designed to come through this little input here. This will slide in like such and goes simply like this, and you can decide on where you want your elevation. There's screws that go into the sides on both, and then this piece is designed to start about midway down. There's 2 holes that it sits in. You push it in place and you add in those 2 screws, and now you have this nice clean look on the side. This is designed to pivot. You want to get that perfect angle. You can still do that with this new system. One thing, if you've ever put in the older Z1000W, you know, you have that screw that somehow has to fit into this in order for the screen to work. That is gone. There's nothing that connects this to the bracket. You just screw the thing in and that's it. As soon as you plug these cables into these inputs, you're done. You can turn the key on and the radio will work. And that brings us to this, the brain itself, the magic. This little guy right here. This is what allows all of this to work, because this thing is compact. How compact, you ask? Well, it is 4 3/8 inches deep to this back fan here. Standard 2-inch tall, single din. There are no screw holes here on the front. This is not designed to mount to here. Don't try to screw it in. That's not what it's for. If you want that form factor, buy the new Z1000AW. Located here on top are the 2 cables that are designed to go off to these mounts here, and these cables are 24 inches or 2 feet long. There are an extension cable for these for certain installs, such as if you're going to put this in the GM Tombstone style radio where it has that smaller 7-inch screen instead of the bigger 8-inch screen. You will need the extension so that you can put this up in the kick panel. When you go to iData to find out what parts you need, it will list that as a part. And that's it. That's all the parts that come in the box. The next video we do will tell you what all of these pieces mean. We're going to plug this thing in. We're going to get to the point where we turn it on. We'll make all our connections and get this thing ready to go so that we can then look at the operating system, see all the bells and whistles that are built into it. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I hope you found this helpful. Fernando.
On to the next one, guys.
You guys have a great night as always. We'll see you later next time.
Bye.